What I really like about Tate Britain is it's got moments like this. For me, it's like a little place I can come and it's calm and it's quiet and be alone with something like this. And that, for me, is a really pleasurable and important experience, and to switch off all those thoughts that I don't want to have, to have a bit of time to do something that focuses me on something else.
A lot of people do when they've got problems actually drawn to water and actually go down to the coast or go to a lake and just sit beside it.
Opening up. Yes, that's what it does. It opens things up, doesn't it? Because we get locked into our own worlds and we're wrapped up with problems and all the things that impact on us. And suddenly there you realise when you step outside or you look at a tree or something like this that, the world is out there. It is a bigger place.
Yes. That's what gives you hope.
Yes. Yes.
I think it's important to take time to appreciate that. You can get bogged down with the problems that you're in. And if you actually do step back, like you said, and appreciate the good things that are around us.
But it is important you step away from it sometimes and switch off. Because otherwise it would get into your head and you'd end up having problems yourself.
But unless you do switch off, it can become all-encompassing. So it's getting things into perspective and looking forward, and it can be quite difficult to do that.
It can be difficult when you've got a job as well, because you can suddenly be phoned up and have to leave to deal with a crisis. And not all employers are sympathetic. You can't always explain it.
It just makes it that much more stressful.
It is,
Isn't
yes.
it stressful enough?
But the job's salary. Keep going.
What makes it hard for you to give yourself time and space? I wonder if just saying something really obvious,
Because you feel that you are abandoning them. If you go away, you think, are they thinking I'm going off because they don't love me anymore?
But you can never go away because you're always on call. Always on call.
What do you do with those thoughts?
If you didn't go away, let's put it this way, you probably wouldn't be able to cope. So you know that you have to switch off and have that time away. So
Do you ever completely get away?
No.
I don't find you ever really get away. You wait for the text message, you wait for the phone, you wait for the... Yeah, absolutely. And if it's not charged, you're worried and, and that's... Yeah.
If you are able to get away, you're going to come back better able to cope with whatever comes up next. And there will be something coming up next, just right around the corner. At least you'll be a little bit stronger and a little bit more refreshed.
And I just feel when I look at something like this, that before she got sick, all the things that I wanted out of life, then she got ill and I thought, actually, they're not important. The simple little things now, her health, her happiness, our relationship, her relationship with me, that's what is important. And it's the simple things. And I look at this picture and I think, yes, it is beautiful, but it is simple. And I think that's what I want life to be, actually. I think the simpler it is, the less complicated, the more I can manage it. And
a lovely pathway of light, isn't there, on the water? The water is extending into the distance. The light is just shining right into the distance on it. And I just think that's a very hopeful path.
No pressure with this being the Tate or anything like that.
No pressure at all.
Of course, when I was doing my artwork
I don't mind starting as I'm the worst person here. When I picked something up, it just reminded me of being back at school when I was the worst drawer in the class. And I just couldn't, I thought, this is ridiculous, I can't do this. And I just sort of got out my anxieties on that piece of paper. And then I thought, no, let's start being a bit more sensible, and it didn't get any better. But I thought, well, I'll draw the sun because I'm feeling happy. and I'm feeling happy because it's been a very good evening. And I'll draw this, which is my pathetic sea. That's the sea, because I think the water is uplifting. And so the end product looks terrible, but I'm feeling happy.
It reminds me of when we stood in front of the picture of the sea. That seemed a really important picture for people. You know?
It does, only the sea, definitely. It's very healing about the sea. Sound of waves, I think.
And that's what I was actually hearing when I was doing it, even though this is just a really bad attempt to draw the sea.
I mean, I think that picture seemed to really grab people, didn't it? The picture of the sea seemed to be the opposite of the claustrophobia of caring to me.
Yeah.
But
It was uplifting.
yeah. But I thought it was interesting your first picture as well, because there seemed to be so much
There's a lot
blame
going on.
towards yourself going on in there.
Stuffing.
And I was, of course, I was thinking of the carer and blame and this constant feeling you're never getting it right. And I mean, does that sort of ring any bells?
Yes, because when I was drawing these big animals getting smaller and smaller, and that's really how I'm feeling. It starts off, you know, and then the stabbing. I don't know why, but it was just what I was feeling, perhaps anxieties and so on.
The stabbing, what did you get to with that?
Sorry?
What did you get to when you thought of the stabbing?
No, the stabbing was just sort of giving vent to my anxieties, and that's how I was feeling anxious, and that was helping me to release that anxiety.
So were you feeling aggressive when you were stabbing?
I was, because I was feeling
You were
anxious.
tense.
I was
I was going to say that's quite uplifting and joyful colours, aren't they?
I felt this was a threatening exercise. It was threatening because it was the thing at school that I couldn't do. You
I
know,
find that quite zingy. It's quite
Maybe show you the colours because that's what was there.
well, I was quite
There was no
deliberate when I was
blacks and
choosing
browns.
colours,
other things.
Yeah.
and I chose the paints, and I could have chosen dark. So I think that it's because I'm overall, I am still feeling positive, but I was still having to express something else.